Hey guys, Darcy here. I got asked a question and I responded to it, but I also wanted to make a video on it. Is there a formula to making a hit? Now, obviously, I have not made a hit, so I'm not qualified, but no. I mean, there are fundamentals that you could say apply to every song until they don't. Right? You could say that every song has these fundamental, like let's say take hip hop. Every fundamental song has a bass line or an 808, some drums, right? Usually kick, snare, some hi-hats at minimum, maybe some more, and is going to have chords and a melody. So let's say you have a piano, you're playing chords in your left hand and some melody on your right, and then an artist. So there's your formula. Until that isn't your formula. Until you have a song that's all drums and 808 and no melody, no chords. Or you have a song with just melody, no chords. Or you have a song that it doesn't even have like drums in it and somehow is a giant song. It depends on the song, depends on the artist, depends on the mood, depends on the words. The formula, that's not going to be the case. If you're brand new, right? Let's say you just got Free Loops, you're like a month in trying to figure it out, and you're trying to get to that point. 4 months, I want to be, making a hit record. You don't want to be making a hit record in 4 months. There's many reasons why. One, it'll be a fluke. And when you end up in situations where you're hit up by people to do it again, you won't know how to do it again because you haven't learned those fundamentals. Well, I know that there's going to be an 808. I know there's going to be drums. I know there's going to be chords. I know there's going to be a melody. Okay. And based on the situation that's presented to you, do you know how to wrap all those things around that mood? And do you know your approach, how you think about music? What is fundamental to you? Are you a rhythmic or melodic based person who that derives a lot of your sound? What do you care about in terms of sonics? There's a very different sound between like Travis Scott's album and like The Chronic in 2001 by Dr. Dre. Very different sonic characteristics. Those are artistic choices. You could argue about engineering on that, but there's artistic choices that comes from process of learning to emote and drive the feeling that those artists wanted to drive. So is there a formula? No. What I gave as feedback that I thought would be very beneficial is a couple of things. One, study. Study the music that you love. Study the music that is current. Study the music of old. There is so much on YouTube, and yes, tons of BS, but there's still so much on YouTube that you can go out and learn fundamentals. Andrew Huang has a 30 minutes tutorial on learning music theory. And then there are like 20 others you can probably find. There are so many on mixing, it's not even funny. Just study, If you want a linear learning experience like school, go find somebody who has a course that you like their learning style or their teaching style because it matches how you learn. You can probably find them on YouTube. You'll probably find the ways of how they teach and then go buy their course. If it's $100, if it's $5,000, buy the one that works for you and study. That's number one. And you're never going to stop studying. Never. Because that is the process. That is how you always change and learn. You might master a style, your own style, and then you go on a trip and you hear Bollywood music and something about it inspires you and you want to steal from it. You want to take and learn from it because of their circular rhythm. It's different than our strict rhythm. You go and you listen to reggae and you're inspired by it. You go and listen to heavily syncopated music and you're inspired by it. Whatever it is, there's all kinds of ways and flavors, and you can break the mold and break the formula. Just keep studying. Always learning. And number 2, collaborate. Music is an art form in which it derives from collaboration. Look at every generic band. That is collaboration. Every major hit has collaboration. Rarely do you find a song where one person recorded, mixed it, mastered it, wrote it, produced it, did all the musicianship by themselves. Never had anybody else touch it. And it went like number 1. I mean, they probably had a mixing or mastering engineer touch it at least. And how should you collaborate? If you're 3 months in, find somebody else who's under a year. Find somebody else who's dealing with the same struggles. Do not be 6 months in, you barely know anything, and reaching to somebody who's been doing it for 5 years or even higher and say, let's collaborate. You're just stealing their time. What do you have to offer? You have more questions than answers in every conversation. Go find somebody who knows about the same amount as you, because you won't know all the same things. And as you learn, you teach each other, and you can tolerate that because you're at the same place. If somebody has a process, a workflow, a formula, they know how to get a certain level of sound, and you don't understand anything they're saying, you're frustrated because you feel insecure, and they're frustrated because you're wasting their time. So collaborate with somebody who's closely similar to your level, and it's not always in numbers of years or months. Just you'll know if they're talking a bunch of stuff you don't get, and that they want to work with you. So study and collaborate. Stop thinking that there's going to be a magic formula that's going to teach you the hit and that some guy's going to give it to you on YouTube, because let's be honest here. If they have the hits and the formula, then they're not just going to be sitting on YouTube telling you about it, doing a tutorial to get 50,000 views. They're going to be doing it ridiculously for a bunch of people. And let's be honest, if they do have a formula, it'll be probably temporary, because music changes and evolves. Just study, collaborate. You will learn, you will evolve, and you will love the process. Because if you don't love the process, we won't be seeing you for very long. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. This is not my normal video, but it's just what I felt like doing. So, peace, y'all.